I'm finding it, and it's not even finding it very easily. But this one is not really finding very easily, but this one definitely finding it easily. And I'm still having some hard time connecting to the other. Hey guys, welcome to this Learn Altium in 5 minutes. So in this video, we're gonna show some of the properties of the schematic. And you might say to yourself that this is going to be such a stupid video, and why even in the world should I make a schematic property stuff? Trust me, if I probably need 2 videos on that, okay? And the reason I do is because there is some physics of it. There's some like a little cute things that you don't know. I mean, I kind of want to say them as like a physics, like for example, like you play around with capacitor and a lot of other stuff, but you barely want to learn the physics behind it because you just want your products to work, right? But today we kind of want to go into more the cutest part of the properties, and you definitely should be very careful about it and be very knowledgeable about it. Okay, let's just go into it. So there is 2 ways you can definitely open the properties. My favorite one is just clicking on F11, right? And the second one is just like going to the traditional way of like clicking on panels and just going to your properties, right? Very easy. And today's video I kind of want to emphasize on 2 things, is that the filters, the selection filters, and then we're going to talk about this, guys, okay? And this is very important. You might think it's stupid. Trust me, it's not really stupid. There is a lot of cute things going on. I gotta understand each of them. And later on the video, maybe I'm gonna talk about this and some parameter stuff, maybe in the next video, maybe, right? Okay, so let's start it. So you do have some like a nice selection of filters which helps you to choose some specific component, or whether it could be your wires, it could be your net levels, or whatever you want to do. Right now it's set as all on. That means it's not gonna bother you to clicking each of them, right? It's very easy. But there will be some time that you have a lot of things going on and you don't specifically want to click a sheet or a net level, right, or a wire. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna just like you're gonna turn it off, and you're gonna say, you know what, I just want to select all of the wires. And now you click on the wires and you do Control and A, and then you're only selecting wires, right? Pretty cool. Then sometimes you might say, you know what, I want to click on wires, and I also want to sheet entries. I also want to click on sheet symbols because I do need to care about them. And so what we're gonna do, you're gonna do Control and A, and Control and A, then you're gonna choose based on what you need. So there's kind of like a quick way of the filters. Definitely there's another way you can do it, which is basically like going to here, like a panel, and then you do have like some kind of like a schematic filter, which is going to be in the different separate video. We're gonna like talk about a very broad about the filters. Okay, there is some cool things you definitely should be knowing. Well, you should know about it because it's very helpful, but today's not the video for that. But today I mostly want to teach you about this cutie, guys. Well, not this one. This ones, okay? So visible grid, this is basically like a way you can see like this kind of a squarish. So if I like try it off, for example, this thing kind of goes away and you pretty much see like a wide, which is kind of a little annoying for me to work with. I like to see the grids, and you can change the squarish length and width based on the visible grid you do have set. So visible grid is always is an amount of the grid you work on your schema. So if you set your snap grid is 100, which is like showing as well, minus grid is 55 here, is because I was kind of trying to do something. But if you set it as 100, you should always be setting your visible grid as 100 as well, okay? But right now it's 55 for a reason. I will tell you why it's 55 mils. I intentionally did it, but if it's 55, maybe do it 55, right? Whatever. That's the visible grid, and here you go with the snap grid. The snap grid is basically like how far you want your object to move. For example, like if I have this object, let's say it is a 100 mil. Okay, I'm just gonna change to like 100 mil right now. Just 100, it'll be fine. So if I want to change this, then you can see like it's just moving each of the 100, right, box to box, changing it. It's kind of like a very basics, but this is not a video of us today. We are gonna also talk about some cool things about like snap to electrical object hotspot, and that's the reason I kind of wanted to change to 55 mils instead of 100 mils to show you what the heck is that and why you always should turn it on. Okay, well, not always you should, but definitely there'll be cases that you might don't need it. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna intentionally change the grid size to 55 or 23, maybe 23. Okay, 23 mil, and I'm just gonna say okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this thing a little in a weird size. So right now when I move this thing with the 23 mils, it's now perfectly following 100 mils rule, right? Definitely. And you can just see it from the gap here. So this, all of them are kind of set into 100 mils, but this one is not 100 mils. It's kind of have a 23 of 10 different stuff. But what's gonna happen with this is, like, when I turn the snap to electrical object hotspot off, and if I want to do wiring, so let's delete this one, and if I do Control and W, and if I try to do wiring, guess what? I'm having hard time finding it, right? I'm having a very hard time finding it, and it's not even finding it very easily. But this one is not really finding very easily, but this one definitely finding it easily, and still having some hard time connecting to the other port. That's the reason why you need to always have this thing on. So if you have turned this on right now, guess what's gonna happen? If I do connecting the wires, you see the red dot here, and you see how it's connected to the red dots. You see how they're having the red dot. That means it's finding an easy path to connect to each other, which is great. This is what we want, right? I know the video is supposed to be 1 minute, but I really need to tell you this thing, okay? I'm sorry if I go overboard, but this is very important. So that's the reason you always want to make sure that you kind of turn on this snap to electrical object hotspot. Then we're going to talk about the snap distance, okay? And the snap distance is basically how close you want your mouse cursor or your pointer of wires to find a connection. So think about this. Right now it's set as a 5 mils. So if I work with the 5 mils, I'm kind of having a little hard time to find the red spot, right? And then going here, I'm having a little, oh my god, someone is angry with their car. The outdoor, whatever. I'm finding it's very hard to connect to the wires, right? But if I set it to as a 200, okay, if I just set it as a 200, guess what's gonna happen? Easily I'm finding the red one. Easily I'm finding the right one. Easily I'm finding the right one as well. It's like a magnetic field that's kind of finding its closer way to go, right? It's very easy to work with. It's it quickly can connect a lot of stuff. So based on your preference, you can definitely use this as well, right? And these are pretty self-explanatory, how you can just change your sheet color, sheet border, right? Sheet border is basically whatever border you have around. You can set to I can't turn it off, but you can turn it on as well. You can just see how this thing is kind of going off and going away. And then you can sheet color is basically the color. You can make it look a little weird like that, whatever. So that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So take care.